started. Welcome everyone. Happy New Year. My name is Paul Byer, and this is AI Blueprint for Massachusetts. Our mission is to help attract, retain, and grow talent. And grow means both education and grow within companies. And we've been doing this now for, I think, 10 or 11 months. So quite exciting there. Lots of things going on. We've really made progress here. Let me just put in the chat just this. If you haven't done it already, to sign in. That really helps us stay organized and keep it up front. Few things. So 100% volunteer organization here. We really focus on different communities. We've got 5 or 6 personas identified. One of those critical ones that's very unique in our region are the students. So we want to continue to make progress on listening to and understanding what the student needs are for these 100 plus colleges and universities around here. We focus on getting stuff done. We're a pick up the shovel group. We're not a talking group, and we try to really focus on small projects that are 2 to 3 people, 2 to 3 months, get something done, put the brick on the wall and feel good about it. And the purpose of this meeting is to kind of go through and share updates on a bunch of these projects here. So let me kick off. We have sheets here. So anybody from the Roy or Tom from the task force, are they here by chance?
Morning, Paul. Roy's here.
Oh, hi, Roy. Morning, Roy.
Morning, how's it going?
Happy New Year. You want to give an update on the team? Congrats on getting that thing passed. I mean, February 14th was a press release last year, right? And it's a passed bill.
Yes, yeah, that's right. Yeah, so I'll give a quick update and I'll talk about the Mass Leads Act, and then do you want me to talk about the AI Hub as well, Paul? I don't want to
Please, yeah, please, yeah.
sure. Okay. All right, I'll be swift. So as Paul was alluding to, the Governor's Economic Development Bill, the Mass Leads Act, passed formally just before Thanksgiving. I think I missed the last 1 or 2 calls. So that legislation passed just before Thanksgiving, which included a variety of tools and resources that are important for the administration in terms of executing our economic development vision, which was outlined in our planning process last year. The things that help us with life sciences and climate tech and other things, including AI. So it was an important authorization in the bill for $100 million that would be used to jumpstart the AI Hub vision. So that passed just before Thanksgiving. There was a ceremonial bill signing in early December over in Cambridge. And then just before the holidays on the 19th, we on the heels of that, we launched the Massachusetts AI Hub. And as part of that announcement, we had a few different things going on. So one, as Paul was referencing, we had the AI task force, which was being carried out over the better part of 2024. And so on the 19th, we released the recommendations of the AI task force, which outlined this vision for the hub. So outlined our strategy, which is based around 3 core components. The first is equity and values. The second is infrastructure. And the third is the talent and innovation ecosystem. So when I stop here, I can drop the report in the chat as well as the press release. But as part of that announcement, 19th, we also formally launched the hub, which will be established at Mass Tech Collaborative, which is where Tom Moran is based out of. And as part of the launch, we announced a partnership with the Mass Green High Performance Computing Center out in Holyoke, which is 6 research universities tied into their operations. And the goal there is to get compute going. And so it's a public-private partnership, which we think is going to leverage well over $100 million, and we're hoping to scale as we bring in other partners. That's going to help bring on some compute infrastructure, which from there we'll build on data components and start to execute the vision. We have a few other things in the hopper that you'll see soon. Mass Tech's going to be putting out an RFP soon for innovation grant challenges, which will basically be the state putting down some dollars to help incent some high impact use cases around AI in some key sectors. And then from a state government standpoint, we announced an expansion of our partnership with UMass Amherst, similar to what we have with Northeastern, to bring in college students to help us with AI projects across the state. It's been a really helpful initiative for us thus far from a state government standpoint. And so we're excited to bring UMass Amherst on board. So that's really it. That's and I will say, just to put some context on this, we finished the task force, release report, we launched the vision, we launched the hub, but it's going to be it's going to be an iterative process. It's going to be a phased in process. So, please bear with us as we go through. We're excited to get the compute going soon, and then from there build on executing the vision and the report, which will drop into the link now. So I'll stop there, Paul. I'll kick it back to you. Hopefully I was under 5 minutes.
No, fantastic, Roy. No, appreciate it. Very exciting. I think one of the fastest kind of proposal to pass bill that I've seen. I don't think other states have moved this quickly. I think Canada's got some stuff done, but I think California and New York are still working there. Do people have questions for Rory? Rory's with the state. People have questions with him.
Rory, just a quick question and off of what you said, Paul. Is Massachusetts basing this hub off of a successful similar hub that's happened in another state, or are we actually forging new ground?
That's a good question, Amanda. So I would say we're in some ways, I think we like to think we're forging new ground. I mean, we did, as part of the task force work, we did look around the country and around the world to see what's going on in other places. So we're trying to learn from what's working and maybe learn from what's not working. And so we believe with the vision we put forward with the hub, it really builds on the strengths of the ecosystem and builds on the strengths of people like you in this group. We have a lot of good things going. The hope is to with the state sort of leveraging I think, like I would call it, like a federated group of partners. I think it's going to be more of a consortium, leveraging that strengths of the ecosystem and to help advance the application of AI in Massachusetts. So I think we have a unique formula, but I would be honest. We obviously have looked around to see what's working well and what maybe isn't working well to help inform what we want to do.
Okay, thank you.
I know that the Vector Institute in Canada, which has really done a lot of success, started with compute as well. They did the compute with a Genius in the 3 cities over there, and that helped bring the AI talent, which then helped bring the startup and the VC money. So that's great. Go ahead, Christine's got a hand up.
Yeah, just really quickly, thanks. This is a great update. Just curious to see if out of the gates, if there are specific allocations or at least ideas for priorities on how this is going to be invested.
Yeah, it's a good question, Christine. I think it's going to be iterative. So we're going to focus. Obviously, we're going to put in some state funds as part of the partnership with the compute. We're also making sure that we still have funds to, compute's hugely important, but things like data are also just as important. So we're going to keep some powder dry to try to support. How do we start to execute a vision around some type of data commons that is aligned with the hub, and also things like workforce development grants, innovation grants. What can we do to help support startups? So that was sort of the point I was trying to make with it. It'll take us some time to see all this be realized, at least from you all out in the street running companies and running startups. But our goal is to get there and make resources available. And the first one you'll see is hopefully in the next 1 to 2 weeks, which would be innovation grant challenges along the lines of research that we would like to incent certain high impact AI use cases.
Great, thank you.
Wonderful, Rory. Thanks so much for an update. I really appreciate it. Very exciting here. But let's keep rolling here. Stephen, you've got an update on an exciting event?
Yeah, thank you, Paul. Can I share my screen? Is that possible?
Sure, yeah. Introduce yourself as well. I think not everyone.
Okay, let's see here. So there. So good morning, everybody. Just to reintroduce myself, I'm Steve with Kids in Tech. We do after-school STEM education. It's hands-on education after school, focused with underserved population, and we're teaching them STEM topics like robotics, coding, environmental justice, history and math, things like that. And a big basis of what we do is the partnerships that we have with corporations and leaders in tech throughout Massachusetts as partners, as career day speakers, things like that. So we're hosting our annual Pathways.
Yeah, someone's typing a lot. If you can go on mute, that'd be great. Thank you. Stephen, did we lose you? Oh.
A special community event. We expect to turn out at about 100 people from folks in the industry in Boston, various industries, tech, banking, financial, to attend. So it's a good opportunity to network, be a sponsor to a great cause, and have a good time.
So
So,
Greg, make sure I'm understanding. So this is an after-school program to help teach tech to kids. You guys have an event coming up and you're looking for sponsors, and this is the sponsor price sheet. Is that correct?
That's it. Yes, correct.
Super. So stick your email in the chat and let's support. And it's really great. One of the things we've seen a lot when we have talked about other calls, when we find someone that stays in Massachusetts, I ask them, like, what the hell are you here for? Hey, you have to go to California. You're hurting your career. And so many times they say, I'm staying for the schools. So the schools are such an important part of the retention part of our formula here. So really exciting, Stephen. So thank you for that. Who's next? Got, Christine, you want to do an update on Zima Science?
Yeah, we had a lot of activity in December, working with Meg just to coordinate on what the upcoming programs are for 2024, including, I think Etchi did a proposal, and I think there's some continuance from some of our engagement from the November, December events that they held. So I need to connect with Meg, but no immediate updates on that.
Okay. John Warner, do we have John on? I didn't see him log in.
Sorry, Chris, to add on to Christine's comment, I saw an email from Meg for Tomer, the chess champion from MIT. I think there will be an exhibit as well as the teaching in AI concepts in relevance with chess for children.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
I'm not judge. I'm gonna ping John. Maybe he could join us later here. Cara, are you on, Cara? Cara started a building AI podcast. So I think she had her first one up, a couple thousands of folks here. So girly success there.
Yeah, I'm
Bri-
here. Hi.
Jump in,
Sorry, go
Cara.
ahead.
Go ahead,
Yeah,
Cara.
hi.
Tell us what this is.
Hi. Oh yeah. So and I'm trying to get my link. So hang on. Hi everybody. Happy New Year. I'm gonna drop some links into the chat. So just give me 1 second and then I'll tell you what it is. Except for it's not letting me. So I'll do it in a second. Hang on. Here we go. Okay, let me know if you see it. Okay, so I started a new show with some really kind of big time multimedia producers from some are from Boston, some are from else. Amanda Goodwin, who's on the call, is another person who's involved in this project. So what it's called, it's a show called Building AI Boston. And so I just sent 3 links there in the chat where you can catch it. It is essentially, the main piece is a podcast, but there's also a video component. So we had our first episode. So I'm a co-host, Amanda's a co-host, and then we have a couple people from other parts of the country, as I mentioned. So our first episode dropped and we had 50,000 listens within the first 48 hours. So it's performing as like one of the top shows. So we have a long list of people on Spotify at the moment. We have a long line of people lined up to come on as guests. Our next guest is, and this will be releasing on Sunday. Her name is Joanna Pena Binkley. She is the mother of Amazon Alexa. So she's our next guest. And there's a few other people on this call who are either coming, and we're starting to now get a lot of pitches from people around the region who want to be on the show. So this is a big show. It's going to be a big show. And one of our co-founders is at the Consumer Electronics Show right now in Vegas next week to shop the show. So this is doing exactly what we are talking about in this group. So this show is not a building, or excuse me, it's not a AI blueprint product, but yeah, it has some of the similar goals. It's all about building Boston, pumping up Boston as a region for AI innovation and why it's special. So every guest will talk about that to some degree. And we're leading with humor and we're leading with inclusivity, because the idea is we want this to be a show that people who maybe don't think they belong in the conversation are comfortable listening to. So we think it's going to really impact a lot because we had a very interesting analytics on our first 50,000 listeners where only a small percentage were actually from the region. So we think that it's going to do a lot for promoting our region out in the world. So let me know if you have any questions or you have thoughts or ideas. Again, and Amanda, I don't know if there's anything you want to add, but we're really, really excited about this. We think it's going to be even bigger and more successful than we thought. We are going to be at the event on the 28th at MIT, the AI Powered Women, where I'll be speaking. And I know a bunch of people on this call are going to be there as well. So we will have a presence there. The podcast will have a presence there. So you'll see us there if you're coming. So yeah, just it's not a pay for play. We're looking for sponsors in terms of, brands that align with what we're doing. So reach out if you have any interest in that. And a few of you have already been hit up by me to be on the show, and you've all said yes. So thank you to those folks who've said yes. And I think everyone will be very impressed by the speaker lineup we have coming. And it's not just the usual schmoozles. No offense to us, we're all great, but there's a lot of people that are new to this sort of conversation too. So we're very excited. So thank you for thank you. So please give us some 5 stars and listen and just let us know what you think.
Yeah, so Cara, congrats on the show. So the ask
Thank
of the
you.
group is to listen and give 5 stars.
Yeah, listen, give 5 stars, and also let us know. We are. It's
You have a
weekly show.
story. If you have a
Yeah, if you have
story
a
to
story.
tell, and mostly thank you to those who talked. So, this
Yeah.
started probably late summer
Mhm.
from conversations that naturally came out of this group, just so that everybody knows. And I had started interviewing people. From those interviews became relationships. From those relationships became, hey, would you be willing to talk in front of a microphone?
Mhm.
And then we recorded 4 folks, who showed up for meetings here.
Yep.
Kind of turned that into the pilot and have now started to really build. And thanks for Cara. For those who don't know, I got significantly sick as I just started to build this, and Cara picked up the torch so lovingly, so that the project didn't drop. So so if you have stories around AI, or stories around how you got into AI, or stories of why you think people stay away from AI or are confused about AI, those are all stories we want to tell.
That's great. Amanda, you look great.
Thanks.
An update on your health. I know you've been through hell and back.
Yeah, so I sadly found out in mid-October that after 6 weeks of non-answers from doctors that I had stage 4 melanoma, required emergency brain surgery, which my doctor was so Derek Shepard, you can't even tell that I had brain surgery because he did the incision in such a wonderful way that my hair goes over it. So and now I'm on immunotherapy. I have my last of 4 immunotherapy treatments this month, and they'll do a rescan, and then hopefully I'll be down to once a month of immunotherapy going forward because it will have done its job. So definitely grateful to be in Boston. And for anyone who wants to hear it later, I actually had to do quite a bit of advocacy to get the treatment that I needed, and really couldn't have done it without AI.
Yeah. So she's got an amazing AI story just herself.
Prayers and strength, Amanda. I've got a buddy of mine who just got diagnosed with stage 4, and out of the blue, and the AI robots have been invaluable as for healthcare system. It's really it's going to be a great. It already is a great tool.
I knew I had melanoma before all the smart doctors at Dana-Farber and BIDMC, and I showed it to them with like, "Hey, that stupid first biopsy. Look what I got from AI."
Wow! Oh, wow!
Yeah, yeah. They were like,
"Damn."
"Oh," I'm like, "So if we could start treatment now, that'd be great. Thanks."
All right, let's keep driving. Thank you, Amanda.
Paul. Can I just add really, really fast? And Amanda, I just love seeing you getting better. So we're so happy. But just quickly, so when I say look for sponsors, since we want to be really specific, we're going for big numbers, which I don't expect from this call. But what we really could use is some startup funds, just for advertising and things to help push the pilot episode. So if anyone has short money that they're interested in, contributing to this, just please reach out, and you can reach out to me to describe wherever you want to find me. So it's on the list. Thank you.
Thanks. Let's keep driving now. Brendan, are you on?
I am. Thank you.
Good.
I have to follow this up. My gosh, this community is fantastic. I love this. We are incredibly lucky ending 2024, having done 10 events, and we have 12 scheduled Kendall Project workshops
Brandon,
upcoming.
share what it is first for people who don't
Sure.
know what it is.
So we are teaching teams and industry how to identify and prioritize AI opportunities using what we call the Kendall framework. It's really an extension of lean manufacturing principles, Scrum, and other classic methodologies applied to AI. And what comes out of this is workshop attendees leave with the ability to identify and prioritize where to use AI in their companies. We're working with Mass MEP, Mass Continuing Legal Education, Mass Bankers Association, and we're really engaging industry. And upcoming events include one for agencies and marketing. And then on February 7th, we're holding an event for basically this community for AI solution providers, because we're starting to create demand and starting to connect the dots. And we're finding that bankers and attorneys and manufacturers need resources, which this call is loaded full of people that have resources. So on February 7th, we're inviting all of you to join us in C10 Labs at the CIC to work with us on the workshop for AI solution providers. So this is, it's really been amazing. We've identified some really interesting problem patterns. If you're an entrepreneur and you're looking for a place to start, feel free to reach out, because we certainly know where the problems are. And by the end of this year, we hope to have had 30 additional workshops in more industries. We have one upcoming with Mass Mobility Hub, with 2 former secretaries of transportation leading that. And it's just been an amazing amount of fun to engage all of you. I mean, look at all the people on the call that have come to the workshops. Christine Parker, we have an upcoming event with the Harvard Business School Alumni Association this month. So take a look. I'll post a link to our upcoming events. If it fits for you, please join us. And the last thing I'd say is, if you know associations in the state that you think would need to be engaged in our community, reach out. We'd love to connect with them.
Fantastic. Thanks, Brendan. Congrats on
Thank you.
success. Katie, are you on, Katie?
I am. Hello. Happy New Year, everyone. This is Kate. The 90-second video. So this is our attempt at using AI tools to create a 90-second advertisement. And we've got 2 personas that we're working towards. We're working towards college graduates and founders. And thanks to everyone who continues to reach out and offer help. I've been working with Paul Burke over the last couple of weeks, and he's really helped create what I'd call a modular script. And then we've been taking that modular script and playing with the various AI tools. So we got a sound bite, the audio file first that we can all listen to, and then we'll be adding imagery, and then we'll be pulling it all together into a video. Now, the interesting thing as we play with the script, and those scripts are, thanks to Paul, we've got a place to host all of this, so we could perhaps share that link. So if anyone wants to help iterate on that script and or listen to the audio file and then help us pull imagery together to create the video, that's kind of where we're at. We're just pulling it along and playing with the tools, and amazed at what we're finding. I will say that the first attempt, or the first couple of attempts of playing with the script, we've actually come out with an audio file that I think works better towards founders. So what we're going to do is we'll find a couple of founders. I'll enlist a few, and including Sam Rowe, and see how the audio file resonates with them. And then meanwhile, we'll go back and continue working on the script to make it work for the college graduates. The other ask, I'm going to reach back out to Catherine Havasi. I think you reached out to me probably in the summer and find out if we can use any of the stock photos and imagery that you had mentioned. So that's the next step, is taking the audio files and combining them with some imagery so we can use the tools to create the video. But it is moving along, and Paul Byer, if there, I can include the link and we can share that broadly. That's where Paul Burke and I are uploading various pieces of the work that we're doing.
Great. And I'm so excited about, Kate, we've talked about this, but I think if we can make sure that every one of these 100,000 students that come through our region hear our commercial.
Right.
Here's a commercial. Oh, you want to start AI? Here's all the great things we have it here. Hey, college student, here's all the great opportunities here if you want to work for a company here. You should not be able to come to our region and get educated and not hear our commercial, particularly if you're here 4 years.
Right.
And, we know already there's hundreds of thousands of students who've come through here and didn't know there's any AI in Boston here, because we got to keep the last mile.
Go for the Don't Mess with Texas littering campaign idea, right?
Right, exactly. Well, good. Thank you, Katie. Any other things you need, Katie, from the group?
Not right now. Thanks to Paul Burke for really helping me get items out there. So I appreciate that. And as I said, hopefully I can reach out to Catherine.
Great. So navigating all these grants, Sal, are you on? You want to give an update?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Excellent. Hi, everyone. My name is Sal. I'm a fractional product manager. Several months ago, I teamed up with Alex Alcivar, who is also a fractional developer, and we put together a website called Grants. It's for Advanced Grant Search Engine. So what it is it's the ability to go in and search federal grants, and it uses an advanced search engine that's way better than what the federal government provides. This is open for free for everybody, for Massachusetts companies. You can type in what you're looking for in terms of grants, and it'll pull up the grants that are most relevant to you. Thank you so much, Paul, for doing this live and demoing. We've added some additional functionality to this. You can add the grant to a chat bot and interact with the grant. Below now, there's actually brand new functionality to be able to email yourself alerts based on grants. So if anything new pops up on grants.gov, it's a fantastic tool. We're at the point where we feel like this is, we've taken it pretty far and it's live. And now that we've got hundreds of users globally working on discovering grants, we feel like this is in a place where we could call this project done. We're going to continue improving on it, keep working on it, but this is probably the last update you'll get on this call. Both Alex and I are still part of this community. We love contributing. We are here. If anybody has any additional questions for us, let us know. And we may come back in a few months to do another update, but for right now, we're going to call this completed, and we're going to move on to other projects. Fantastic.
Congratulations, Sal. Thank you. And thank you for modeling, taking an idea, getting something done, putting a shelf on it, and feeling good about it. So we want to have small contributions and keep people some gas in the tank here. So it's really exciting here.
Really exciting. All right. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Sal. Playbooks, Adam or Beth, are you guys on?
Yeah, I don't know if Beth is on. I think I saw Essie. Did you want to give the update? I'm happy to give it as well. Paul, we've really had some great contributions.
Sorry, go ahead, Adam. But there was one participation from the government of Massachusetts, and then we're gonna have a discussion on Monday next week.
Yeah, absolutely. And we want to try and wrap up a draft to distribute to people, kind of a V3 in the next month or so.
That's great. And Adam, just remind the team what the goal of the project is.
Oh yeah, sorry. Thank you. For everybody's benefit, just the playbook is, let's give you a playbook. If you're in the middle, or anybody is in the middle of a conversation about how to make sure talent and capital and organizations stay based here in Boston, or choose to base themselves here in Boston, that's what we want this playbook to be, is to guide people to the right resources and give them the right messaging to bring everything home and keep things here in the Massachusetts area.
Super, really exciting here. This is everything I've had two more people in the last month here who are trying to get their company to put their AI Center of Excellence in Boston and not another city here. So this is exactly the type of stuff they need. So really exciting here.
Fantastic.
Luke has been working on although he's busy with college or his advanced degree. Luke, are you on by chance?
Yep, I'm here.
Oh, good. Thanks, Luke. Give us an update on this, please.
Sure. So it's been going pretty well. Partnering with Ethos and Sam Rowe to build out a directory of college AI clubs in the Boston area, as well as a guide as to how to start an AI club for colleges, which is kind of what I did at UMass during my undergrad. So I had a good time doing that. So I figured I'd help people who are interested in starting an AI club at their college if one didn't exist. So we've been sending that out to professors and director of different departments at colleges in Boston to try to see if we can help establish some clubs. I think they're the Ethos is in the process of trying to get some funding to be able to offer clubs, maybe like $500 or $1,000 to kind of get the ball rolling for their club. So that's been going pretty well. If anybody happens to know anybody at a university, either a student or a professor or really just anybody, feel free to pass along my information. There is an online teachable course that Ethos has created, as well as a Google Docs I've made, which is just a compilation of advice I learned from my time in setting up the UMass Data Science Club.
Really great. And look, this is so exciting. But this is thankless work. It's information that we should have. And as I travel, I'm flying back again to San Francisco again next week. San Francisco doesn't have a group like this. San Francisco got a bunch of universities. They don't have a list. New York City, they don't have a list that I'm aware of when I talk to people down there. So this is really, really high value last mile stuff that you're working on, Luke. I think is really important contributions here. Any other ask you have of the team, Luke?
No, nothing I can think of.
Fantastic. Super. Thanks. We'll keep driving here. K through 12 is another interest area a lot of people have. Is Javed or others? Beth, you guys on by chance? I didn't see Javed.
So Paul, just to jump in here. So I'm also playing in this space in addition to doing the commercial stuff with Katie.
Okay.
And so my focus has recognized that as we talk through K through 12, there's a gap in vocational education. And so my goal has been to, how do we become the exemplar, Massachusetts become the exemplar revolutionizing vocational education with AI. And so I've met with the local regional vocational school and really have focused on, how do we determine a framework for faculty empowerment and upskilling, student learning transformation, and really industry and education alignment across the 15 service pathways. So kickoff discussions, great engagement, working with the superintendent now on the framework. How are we going to build out these frameworks? As I build out the frameworks, I'll start to look to this community to help review the frameworks, but also how do we start to get industry education alignment in the areas where AI is excelling in these pathways, and then how do we bring them into the schools and get the students being able to interact with those capabilities?
That's great. And Paul, in my simple mind, it feels like this thing's so multidimensional. We have elementary, middle school, high school. We have students, we have teachers, admins, we have parents. And then we have some people who want to work within the system and some people want to work without the system. Are those all the dimensions that this thing could?
It is. And so depending on the audience and the conversations I have, we really start to focus these down. This is why the frameworks become really powerful. It becomes a prioritization effort. What the most important thing that that I've kind of come up with as we've talked about this is the first thing we need to do is focus on the faculty, because they're the interface between the parents and the industry and the students. And so what we decided upon to explore is really how do we create a faculty AI innovation hub for vocational instructors? And then they can help educate the students for the new students coming in, educate the parents for people looking at potential vocational education. Also, starting to then be those catalysts. And so that's what we're trying to focus on. Who are those force multipliers that we can start to build this in, and then we'll work on customizing teaching approaches. How do you get instant feedback on effectiveness based on, how people perceive you versus the students, et cetera. So there's a lot of really interesting things here and a lot of dimensions. I will start to scope this, Paul. And as I start to scope it, I'll look for other input. I don't want to do this in a vacuum, but this is a really fun project that I'm taking on, and I'm looking forward to moving it along.
Good. And what asks do you have of the group? How can it help people help?
So right now, the ask is if anyone's looking, I know there's other folks starting to look at building out frameworks for the education system. It's very different with regards to traditional change management. It moves very slow, and this has to move quickly. So if anyone's actually started to crack that nut with certain frameworks they're finding effective moving into education, I'd love to hear about that.
I've had 4 people ask me for AI tutors for their kids. I assume that's a burgeoning industry somewhere. I don't know where it is, but do you know people, Paul, that's focusing on that?
So I don't know anyone that's focused on, I have personally done that for a client. I built out AI tutors for a client. But don't know, that's what kind of got me into the space. I don't know anyone that's specifically focusing on that, but I'll keep my eyes out.
Okay, that's great. Thank you.
Luke, that's an opportunity for you and for folks coming out of college. As far as being AI tutors for middle school and high school.
Yeah, there's opportunities. It's also really coming down to getting effective interactive prompting techniques where you can actually build the tutor out real time with these tools. And so, it works great for interviewing, great for education, great at meeting the student where they are. And there's a lot more to explore there. And, I'm very passionate about this area. You could probably go on way too long, so I will be quiet. But if there's anyone wants to talk about this space, I've spent a while in it, and I'm starting to really dig deep into it.
Well, we do a lot on my commercial side. We do a lot with companies, helping them learn Gen AI. It's so clear. It's only 3 to 5% of that employee base are autodidactic. They'll go learn it. The rest of them need a little instructor led. They need someone to walk them over and intimidate them. Oh, the chatbot, that you don't have to be prompt engineer. That's just what goes in the box. And that kind of what I'm having parents ask me, I want little Johnny, little Mary here to understand AI. I don't understand it myself. I got a calculus tutor. I need to get an AI tutor to help with these things.
So Paul, you're spot on. The other thing that I will share here is it's not just the students. Also, so my clients have been C-suite execs. Of really spending a lot of time and giving training sessions where I'm training a bunch of people because they have the same fears. It's change management. And so how do you get them to interact with these? So it's vast. It's multidimensional. There's multiple personas, but I think this is definitely an area that's going to need to be solved, but it's going to be opportunistic for those people that want to participate in that space.
Totally agree. So as everyone knows, my goal in life is to end every meeting 5 minutes early. We might be able to end this one 10 minutes early. Anything more than I think this is a duplicate. Any Luke or David, any updates on the events? That seems to be working pretty well. The Airtable.
Yeah, no real updates.
Okay.
The event Airtable is going fine. I usually update it maybe like once or twice a week.
Really appreciate that. We are going to do another career fair this year. Judah led one last year that was wildly oversubscribed, and we're thinking about different options this year. But that's it for today. Any other contributions or things people want to share? That everyone joining on time and contributing.
And I just add one thing, and I'm sorry, Paul, I should have mentioned it earlier before the call. We are doing another Women in AI meetup. It's going to be at Glasswing on March 17th. I don't even have the registration up. I have to work on that this week. So I'll share that out. But I wanted everyone to know that this is going to continue. It was really great. The first one we had. And so we're going to keep it up.
Great. Sarah, just we continue to see lots of interest in women AI, and we've also seeing a lot more elevate Black voices in AI. So I think African American Black initiative and a women initiative that's really communities that are thirsting for convening and leadership and support.
And Paul,
Yeah, I agree.
go ahead, Sarah.
I don't know if
Oh,
you're
I was
anything on the
gonna- I
28th. Oh, sorry.
Yep, go ahead. I was going to pop in that one.
Yeah, I was just gonna say we could talk about it there.
Yeah, so there's a
The
great
28th,
conference on the 28th.
That's Felicia's one, right? At MIT.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And Bobby Carlton is working on that with her. So Innovation Women, for those of you that don't know Innovation Women, you should. It's the largest women's speaker bureau, I think, in the country, but it could be in the world at this point. So she's working on that with Felicia.
Fantastic. Great. Last call for contributions. Go ahead.
Paul, the other thing I would just piggyback on something Sarah and I are working on through the Mass TLC that has some relevance is the intersection of AI and climate, and where the tech community meets the climate community, and really making sure that we break down that silo that kind of exists right now. So if anybody is a climate AI person, knows climate AI people and companies, we're really going to be focusing on trying to bring together the leaders of that sector in 2025.
Susan, do you know Scott Clavenna, who's running Latitude?
I do. I know Scott well.
So he's right in the middle of all this, as you know. Yeah.
Yes.
Wonderful. Well, good. Well, thank you, everyone. Happy New Year, and let's keep the ball rolling. Oh, thank you. Bye.
Thank you.